So interceptions are another action card in this game, play action card, and there's a couple levels to it. So this is a good card in the game to have. One thing you can do with an interception, so interceptions all have two different things. They all have audibles, so they all have two different things that you can do. The number one thing that you can do, I wouldn't say number one, but one of the things that you can do with the card is if you play it, you can take up to 2 cards from your opponent's hand to look at and decide if you want to keep, and you can keep any of them, and any that you don't keep, you put it here underneath the discard pile. So again, you get to steal up to 2 cards from your opponent's hand at random, look at them, and don't add them to your hand yet. Look at them to see if there's any that you want. Any that you do, you add to your hand. Any you don't, you slip it back underneath the discard pile here. So that's the first thing that you can do with the interception. The second thing you can do with the interception is you can steal someone's set, or you can steal the same color streak. So we're going to use the blue one for example here. So if I lay this down, if I need a set, I can steal it from the next person, and again, as long as it complements it. So if you have a set of 3, you can't steal a set of 3. You'd have to do a set of 4 here. So, but say you have a set down, you do that, and you steal this from your opponent. All right. If it's the same color, so this can steal either a set from somebody that complements you, and you can decide which one it is, or you can steal the same colored streak. So this blue interception can steal a set, or it can steal a blue streak. Same thing with the other ones. A green one can steal sets or a green streak. So if this streak, bring this blue streak back in here. So if you don't have anything down and you need to steal that, you can steal that from your opponent. So kind of cool. All the interception cards in this game do the same thing, for the exception of the black interception. And what it can do is it can steal up to 3 cards from your opponent as opposed to 2. And of course, again, any you want to keep, you add to your hand. Any you don't, you put it under here. Now you don't want to grab these cards and add it to your hand, and that can throw things off. So you look at them first and get rid of any that you don't want. The other thing that the black interception does is you can steal a set still from anyone, but as far as streaks go, you can take any color streak. So this card is going to change. It has the wrong word on there, but it's going to be able to steal any color streak from your next opponent. So that's Immaculate Interception. In this game, steals do end your turn. So since you laid this card on here and it was discarding on the discard pile, that automatically ends your turn after any action occurs. So in this situation, if you steal this person's set, that was the action that occurred. Once that's done, play's over with, it goes to the next person. Also in this game, there's a rule where if you don't have any sets or streaks laid down, you have to pick up from the discard pile to add to your hand. If you're able to steal somebody's set in the same motion, when you lay down a card, it absolves you from having to pick up a card from there. So it's just called in passing, where if you lay this down and you steal something, that's your move basically. And since you're getting a set at the same time, and that's the rule to be able to not pick up a card, getting rid of it just lessens game friction, makes it easier. So if you steal someone's set, it ends your turn. At the same time, though, if you don't have any sets or streaks, you don't have to pick up a card ahead of time when you do that. All right, if you steal somebody's, let's imagine that's a disguise set right there. So you can steal disguise sets in this game, but you take on the risk of, if it was a bluff, you're going to have to get rid of the cards underneath the discard pile. So I can take these, but I'm risking, if they're not legitimate, then I have to pitch them underneath here. If it was not a bluff, then you flip the cards over and it's a legit cover set and it stays face up, and you can add cards to it. There are things that can protect you from getting your sets or streaks stolen, and we'll go over that next and throughout the rest of the game.